What's good, YouTube? And today we are back with a great defense, talking about how to read defense in Madden 24. I made a video about this on Madden 23. The biggest improvement we're going to make in this year's video game is we're going to kind of look at bunch as well this year. You know, there is a little bit difference in tells and compressed formations like tight, bunch, those type of formations versus the spread out formations like trips, doubles, anything like that. But we're really mostly just going to look at how it looks in a trip style and a bunch style, because there is differences, and those are probably two of the most popular offenses you're going to see is bunch, and it's going to be about the same in any compressed set like that, which is like tight slots, halfback weak, stuff of that nature. And if you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment. It helps me out. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers. That's our first mini goal. And then obviously, you know, the more comments we get on these videos, it helps the algorithm push these videos out to other people to see. This is a video I made last year on last year's Madden. Did pretty well for my channel. And it does good in general for people of all levels. You know, if you're just now starting out, even if you are a veteran, you might not even notice some of these tells. But we're not really going to be looking over plays. It's more so just identifying these base defenses before you come out, because obviously when you guys run offenses, you should, in your audibles, you should be setting up your audibles. You should be coming out in a play you want to run and what you think they've been running all game. But you should be having audibles to beat cover 4, cover 2, cover 3, you know, all out blitz, man blitz. You should have these type of plays in your audibles, so when you come out in your offensive play, you identify that and you audible down to those things. That's what we should be doing, and that's why this video is going to be helpful. So let's get into it. I'm just in Philadelphia Eagles playbook just because they have a variety of things where I can kind of demonstrate trips and bunch. Defense, we're just going to be looking at mostly dollar and 3-3 are two popular formations, and they're all going to be operating the same. It's going to be about the same in any of those style of defenses of dime, dollar, nickel. So let's get into it. Let's start off with bunch. I'm just going to come out in a bunch just so we have the base set. And let's look at two-man under. Let's look at how two-man under operates in bunch. So here we go. This is how you can identify two-man under in bunch. This is how you identify it. So this is going to be one of the few and only really defensive plays that as soon as you come out in your play, just look at the outside receiver over here, Garrett Wilson. The corner comes out fully pressed. This is how you already know this is going to be two-man under, man-to-man coverage. Right? And you're going to identify, this is literally the only tell you need to know. Once you see that, you know they're in man. That's all you need to know. They're in two-man under. That's literally the only tip to that. Let's just go on to cover 1. Now, cover 1, same thing. It's the same thing. Corner is come out press. Now, this is in dollar, and we are in bunch. You're going to know some of this is going to be kind of hard to always identify, because cover 1 this year isn't like how it is in past Maddens. It looks just like cover 2, and you're going to see, boom, that corner is pressed right up against Garrett Wilson. Now, how are we going to tell the difference between cover 1 cover 2? Well, I'm about to show you. I just wanted to show two-man under cover 1 is going to be looking the same this year as opposed to last year, where the one you would just automatically have the one safety high. This year, both safeties are staying up top. The biggest thing here is it's really, really hard to identify, and you're just almost going to have to kind of assume that it's the same. But it's man-to-man coverage at the end of the day, and you're really just going to have to, as soon as you hike the ball, try to look at that strong safety. But there's really no difference between two-man under and cover 1 in a bunch style of offense. They're really all about the same. It's really just they're pressed, they're running man-to-man, but now, if you have somebody running, let's just go to spinner, right? This is where it gets a little tricky. Now, you do know this is man coverage, mostly, or zone. You don't really know it is hard to tell because this year, like, this is just dollar spinner. This isn't baseline. This isn't anything, right? But you do know there's only one tell that we're about to show between this and the zone defenses this year in bunch. So let's go over the zones and then trickle back to spinner real quick. So right now we're going to go to cover three. Cover three is pretty kind of easy to identify. So in cover three against bunch, notice the box. Notice the box from number 50. Look at number 50 to the guy to the left. It's literally just a straight line across between corners and the box to the other corner. And let me go to replay just to kind of identify what I'm talking about here. Well, I guess I got to run a play, right? I'm just going to kind of throw it away. Let me go to instant replay to kind of show you what I'm kind of talking about when I say in the box. So this is how I'm telling cover three, like if I'm coming out in bunch, right? It looks like last year, you're kind of used to something like this looking like cover two. This year, this is more of a cover three look in bunch, and this is what I'm talking about. This is how I tell cover three because, again, look at the safeties. You don't have a one safety high. You have both safeties up top. As before, we're used to one safety high. But this is how we're going to tell, right? In the box. Look how they're just in a straight line with each other. All the way across in bunch. All the way across. That's how I tell cover three this year versus cover two and cover four in a bunch formation. Because what you're about to see here, and this is how you also identify, they look like they're in cover two. They're about 5 yards off of each other, right? That's kind of how the spinner looked. Spinner looked basically the same, except they're just not lined up in a box. That's how you're going to tell is in the box reads this year. Because look, watch, we're going to go to cover two. You see how cover two already looks different? Here, let's kind of just run a play, throw it away so I can go to the replay. Because, again, we're looking at the box, right? You see how it literally looks the same? Your corners are 5 yards off. They're 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. But what you're going to notice is this nickel corner over here, look how far back he's playing. He's playing 10 yards back of the line of scrimmage. So, like, if you're playing against Dollar and you notice people are running DB Fire 2, Spinner, this guy is not going to be this far back off the line of scrimmage. He's going to be up in the box because he's blitzing. So, you know we're not getting DB Fire. You know we're not getting Spinner. We know we're not getting cover three because this guy is not in that straight line that we were just seeing in bunch, right? That is literally the easiest tell if someone's in cover two on you. And obviously, like I said, DB Fire, it's going to be the same thing, except this dude's going to be up more toward the line of scrimmage. But like I said, they're not in a straight line like cover three. This dude's literally back here. So that, boom. And that's literally the only thing that you're going to see when they're in cover two. Now let's go to cover four. Just pick a play. Let's go to cover four. Cover four literally looks the exact same. Now, the biggest identifier between cover two and cover four is, let's kind of just hike a play, just throw it away so I can show the replay real quick. The biggest thing here that you're going to notice is it looks like cover two because what was our identifier? It was this nickel corner, right? He's backed up about the same, about 10 yards off. But what you're going to notice is the corners, they're not 5 yards off the line of scrimmage anymore. They are 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. You see how the corners are 10 yards off the line of scrimmage? That right there is already telling you it's cover four. Out of all the defense we've shown you between cover three, cover two, man, this is the only one where they're already backed up 10 yards on these bunch formations. So that right there is how you could tell that is cover four between cover two of looking at our identifiers. So that's how you could tell the difference between the zone coverages you're seeing in gun bunch formations and even those tight compressed formations are all the same. Now, it's going to be a little different for like if you run more of like a trip style of offense. So here we go. Here's like trips tight end. It's going to be about the same. I mean, I'm not going to go to replay, but you kind of see how everybody's in the box. Now, your corner on the right side is not going to be in that straight line of the box, which is going to be our biggest identifier for our zone coverages when you're like in a trips tight end, doubles, whatever that's not a compressed set. Trip side in, you're going to see it's the same thing. It looks like it's cover 2 from past Maddens. It's just, again, but the biggest identifier this year is straight across. You got that left corner above Wilson. This guy's above Hardman. And it looks like man coverage, right? Literally looks like man, but we know it's not man because they didn't come out pressed. But they're in that straight line. So let's come out in man just to kind of show you as well, because it kind of looks like man, but this is how, again, we know in man coverage they're going to automatically come out kind of like press in these formations right across from our receivers. Even if they're not coming out directly press, which normally man-to-man this year they always do, you know, you're going to see they're always directly lined up against these guys. Whoops. Directly lined up. There we go. Let's call timeout. They're always going to be directly lined up against these guys. Now, again, cover 1, robber press, it literally looks the exact same. It's hard to identify cover 2-man under versus cover 1 this year. Your biggest thing, all you're going to have to do is just kind of watch your safeties from the time the play is called. And about 90% of the time anyways, if someone's come out in cover 1, just watch the strong safety. Normally the strong safety is the one that's dipping down. Or people are just putting them in 2-man under looks anyways, or doing whatever they want with that strong safety. So really just hike the ball, watch the safety, and then you'll know. Because 2-man under, obviously they're going to have both safeties back, but cover 1, the safety's not going to be back. So it's just going to be the same look this year. Madden did kind of good on disguising how some of this is. It hasn't been the same that we normally see in years past. So yeah, trip side in, you know, let's just look at cover 3 again. Like I said, straight across. Look at your corner on the right side. See how he's 10 yards back in cover 3. 10 yards back in cover 3, right? Now let's look at cover 2. We know cover 3, again, it's the same logic as it was in bunch. They're literally just all lined up across 5 yards off the line of scrimmage in a straight line. But the difference between cover 3, cover 2, because in years Madden, that is what our look was. But cover 2, you're going to see, like, notice how on this left side, there's only 2 guys over here. There's only 2 guys. Cover 3, it looked like it was kind of man. They're lined up straight across except for the right outside guy. But now you're seeing this is a straight old school. This is how we know exactly this is zone coverage, right? This is how we exactly know this was zone coverage. And we know this is cover 2 because these guys aren't lined up across from these wide receivers. We go to the right side as our other indicator. Yes, the guy is 10 yards off like it's cover 3, but who's in front of him? This guy who was lined up across from number 10 is now over here on the right side where the tight end and your running back is. So now this is how we know this is a cover 2 look. Also the safeties. Look at the safeties. Look how far apart the safeties are. You see where the free safety is lined up across from number 6? This is how you know this is cover 2 because that safety is spreading himself out so he can cover streak routes from the outside because of the cover 2 look. And which I'm going to go back to cover 3 just so, because I don't think I really explained that just a second ago in cover 3. See how cover 3, he's inside the 50 here. We are on the left hash mark, but you see again, the guy's lined up across Lazard, and it looks like if it was 2-man under, but just not pressed, and the safety is inside of that 50. Again, go back to cover 2, and you will notice the same thing is just not the case, right? Cover 2, the safety's outside that 50 there. Again, we are on the left hash, so it's not always going to be outside the numbers, but just notice how he's lined up across that middle guy, like Miko Hardman here. He's literally lined up across them, kind of like if it was spinner, right? Almost if it was a spinner type man-to-man all-out blitz. That's always been a tell for me when I see these. So we are going to come out in spinner. But this is how spinner looks in these trip tight end sets, right? You see how the free safety is actually more. They're not like 15 yards off. Or not 15. About 15 yards off. You see how they're more like that 10 yards. They're more pressed in. This is how you identify spinner, especially a little bit easier in these trips formations. Just look at this formation. You're going to notice, like, we know what's going on in spinners. The slot guys are blitzing, right? So we know this guy lined up across Miko Hardman is the guy blitzing, and that's why the free safety is, look where he is. They are about 10 yards off of the line of scrimmage. They are pressed in. He is on the outside of the numbers like if it was cover 2, but notice how he is not, he's 5 yards in. Same with the strong safety. He is 5 yards in. This is how you identify cover 0 man blitzes. This is how you're going to identify your cover 0 man blitzes and trips tight end and gun bunch. That's your difference right there. Now let's look at cover 4, because cover 4 is going to look pretty similar. And these are just your main base defenses you're going to see a lot online. But look at cover 4. It literally looks like if this guy is semi-base aligned. And it's hard to explain cover 4 but not really, right? Like, our biggest tells, and the same thing with bunch, is what? Our outside corners. Guess what? They're 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. Boom. That right there already tells me cover 4, right? Here, let me just throw the ball away. Because out of all the defenses we're showing, the corners are always more pressed in this year. And cover 4 is basically the only one where you're going to see, it used to be like cover 3, cover 4, but look, this left corner is 10 yards off. It's the same thing that was in bunch, same thing that's in like your open formations. Once you see a corner that's already basically, you see how he's basically about 8 to 10 yards off. Boom. You already know it's cover 4. Cover 4 automatically. That's the easiest tell. Plus, obviously, we're going to back up a little bit. You know, how did we tell cover 3? They were 5 yards off the line of scrimmage in a straight across line, right? Cover 2, you know, kind of the same thing. But this guy was our identifier in cover 2 because of how far back he was. Plus, it looked like just the actual base zones in cover 2 where there was only 2 guys over here. You see, this guy's not in the box anymore. That was the other thing in cover 2 also I didn't mention was this guy is actually in the box as well. But, again, this is how you're going to identify your defenses. And this is the biggest thing about Madden. You identify defenses. This is how you're going to get better. And this is how you decide when you audible down. Like, if you guys watch gameplay, you'll see people come out and plays. They audible a lot, switch formations because of what they're seeing. You know, there is other things you can do, but this is the basics of everything you need to read to honestly get better, score more points on offense, and just be a better offensive Madden player. But with that said, this video has been already kind of long. Again, just comment down below if you guys are new. Like, subscribe, help me out, push my stuff out. If you like my content, put anything in the comments, anything I can improve on, anything you guys would like to see. And again, we're doing daily, not daily, I keep saying daily, but we're doing Madden videos at least once to twice a week right now. So with MCS out, trying to focus on that. But again, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, peace.